Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review. See by the title below, yes, this is on episode 13 of Boku no Hero Academia Season 2. And yes, I know, I'm sorry that this is like over a week later already, but literally the week that this episode came out, I ended up getting sick and I could not make the video. I've been sick ever since, and until finally now that I still have a cough, but I'm feeling a lot better that I can make these videos, finally found the time to go ahead and make it. So just wanted to explain that to you if you've been wondering why the hell this episode review is so damn late. Luckily there was no episode this week. I mean, it's unfortunate because I really want to know what happens next, but lucky because it's not like I'm building up too much to, once I like finally caught up in everything as well. Like seriously, I got sick and I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna fall behind again. Oh great, But yeah, let's talk about how I felt about episode 13. It was definitely much more of a transitional kind of build-up episode, considering the fact that we're kind of transitioning from the tournament arc to this entire new arc and kind of building up to everything that's going to be happening, as you saw in this episode with Izuku going to be working with All Might's former teacher, and of course Ida kind of picking where he wants to work at, which is of course the same city that his brother ended up getting hurt, because obviously Ida is probably going to be going on seeking revenge and everything. So that's definitely pretty interesting. I can't wait to see more of that now that we're going to actually get to see some villains as well. We get to see Stain, we get to see Ida and the rest of the crew try and fight him. Obviously something does go bad, as you do hear Izuku kind of narrating and saying that he regretted not saying something at that certain time, and because something ends up happening big later on. So obviously something like pretty damn important is going to be happening sometime in the future. Not too sure how many episodes in we're gonna have to go for that, but overall this episode, like I said, was definitely much more of just transitioning and building up. The first half kind of just a little funny segment. I definitely thought it was pretty hilarious, learning everyone pretty much what they want for their code names. We got I forget what his name is. I always forget what his name is, but what his name ended up being was like Sparkling Hero. I cannot. He wanted to put I cannot stop sparkling. To which of course Midnight's like, oh, how about you shorten this to can't stop sparkling? And they're like, that's okay to do that. And everyone was all like, oh my gosh, Alien Queen. They're all just coming up with like funny names, and they're like, oh my gosh, what are we just gonna, what are we gonna put then? Until finally Froppy, like everyone's cheering for her name and everything. I mean, it is cute. I would definitely be like, oh look, it's like, I could definitely see kids like yelling like, hey, it's Froppy kind of thing, so definitely could see that being a good name. Of course there were some people like Todoroki who ends up just using his name. Ida does as well, but it's not as much of the same reason as Todoroki ends up doing. More of obviously his brother wanted him to take his name, but of course he feels that he's not ready for that yet, which is why he just uses his regular name. Everyone else's name was pretty damn cool. It was interesting to hear of. Ochako's one was pretty cool. Like it was like her last name with gravity mixed together. And then of course Bakugo with his, I swear he needs to have murder in his name for some reason. And it's like, no, if you want explosion, whatever, explosion lord, explosion king, explosion man, whatever you want to put, that would be fine. You put murder in, it's not going to be a good, hero name, that's for sure. But yeah, everyone, grape juice for, what's his name, and just like everyone had some pretty interesting names, and then some pretty like standard names, and then you got some just like what the hell names, and then of course Izuku ends up coming up. It's his turn. I was wondering what he was gonna pick. I was like, is it gonna be something related to All Might? But in a way, kind of just like how Ida feels that he isn't, ready to take that name from his brother. He doesn't feel Izuku doesn't feel that he is ready to take a name from like something with All Might, considering All Might is still like a whole nother level compared to him. So he ends up with Deku, which honestly it's a nice name. I like the way it ended up becoming, like he said it before, it was more of an insult, but now it's kind of like because of Ochako. And that part I was like, I wish they saw, well, we did see Ochako. She's like all happy and everything when he ends up saying that. So yeah, ship them for sure, no doubt about it. But overall it was pretty cool to see, cool and funny to see all the stuff that they ended up coming up with for their names in the first half. The second half is pretty much just them trying to decide what, agencies that they're going to work for. Everyone's got a lot of different, selection. Some people like Todoroki has got like in 3,000 or something. A lot of it is because of his father, as he said. Bakugo as well, because they're both the top two, and it starts to go down and go down and go down. And of course Izuku doesn't get a single one, pretty much because everyone was scared with the way he ended up fighting. Though, as you saw at the very beginning, when he was in the train, everyone's like, oh, you're Midoriya, huh? Good job, good job. Everyone's like saying, oh, you can do it. And he's all getting shy and blushing and everything. And that happens to everyone as well, it seems, when they start talking. But yeah, overall, you see how everything is just kind of transitioning into what's going to happen. It's more of like a, not necessarily a filler episode, as their names will become, important things later on in the future. Them picking their agencies is what's going to be building up to what's going to be happening in these next couple episodes. As you saw at the end, it kind of did show everyone with their the preview. It showed them with their different kind of, the different agency heroes and everything. And of course, obviously, the big thing for it, like I said, with the build up, is the fact that, for one, Izuku is going to be working with All Might's former teacher, which he knows about, One for All. So it should be interesting to see how everything goes, because from the preview, and from the part we did see when he like found him in the what's it called, in his like whatever, his apartment or whatever, blood on the ground, him lying face down, he's like, he's dead, and he's like, I'm alive, and he's like, he's alive. It's like, oh, okay, I don't know if to take this guy serious or not. But you do see in the preview he's like jumping around, hitting him and everything. So I don't know, he may be senile, but he's probably still super strong, and hopefully we get to see some crazy shit with him teaching Izuku some crazy shit as well, maybe to somehow be able to control One for All, considering we already know that Izuku can't really control his power at the moment, considering how we saw him at the tournament. But probably the best person to teach him besides All Might would be this guy, considering he was like best friends with All Might's, the person who had One for All before him. So I could definitely see it being something pretty cool and interesting later on. And of course, it should be interesting to see how Ida works going on with him. He's going to be going for his revenge on Stain, and it looks like Stain was, of course, approached by the villains that we saw before, the League of Villains. So it should be interesting to see how that works out as well. But yeah, overall, not really much to say. That's like, it literally, like I said, was just a transition build-up episode. So yeah, just gonna end it here. Can't wait to see how the next episode goes, as that episode will probably be a lot more crazy stuff going on, since this one was more of a filler transition episode. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. So if you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, if you like, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, good, bad, however you guys felt about this episode. Feel free to comment below. And until next time, see ya.